Hello again with another kit review, and we'll be looking at heishou branch, aka Chicken Sinclair, and we're looking at Weisang next time. Next slide. We're looking at Weisang, aka heishou Isang, and yeah, let's get right into it. So first things first, this is a burn rupture identity, and the main gimmick he has is Blood Flame. Blood Flame is a status that gives you burn and rupture potency, and you heal SP upon staggering, and you get even more benefits when you're at max SP. You gain haste, which is a big thing. Because this identity really likes haste. Actually, not really. Yeah, he doesn't really need haste, but haste is always nice, right? And where you get Blood Flame, his main gimmick, is from his counter or from his S tree. And if you remember, heishous have the counter usually gives you 3 of this, and 3 is immediately on max here, so you can use counter a lot. Other than that, you can also get it from S tree over here with on use. But let's talk about how his kit revolves around that in the first place. He has a lot of burn potency and rupture potency here. Again, this gives you rupture potency as well. So even though it says Blood Flame, it also does rupture potency as well. So just a lot of potency here. Potency, 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 potency. This our ID really likes potency. And if you have Blood Flame, you can access to a couple benefits. His S2 reuses the coin. If you have Blood Flame, the other way you can reuse is if you have less than X% HP, but I'll talk about how that's kind of gimmicky later. His S3 also has the same thing. Blood Flame actually gives him unbreakable coins, which is again kind of gimmicky, but I'll talk about it later. It's unfocused volley, by the way, but we'll get that out later. So he has a lot of Blood Flame here, and his whole kit centers around Blood Flame. Even this counter also does. His counter actually scales off of Blood Flame as well. So what is the goal of this identity? The goal of this identity is that with Blood Flame, with both Blood Flame, he has another part of his kit, which is part of his gimmick, which is taking damage by himself. He has burn to target on self whenever you clash loose on both his counter and his S tree, and this burn on self gives you more chances to get this conditional off. Deal more damage for every X%, or here, deal X% more damage based on your HP, or to reuse. So this ID is split into two things: wanting to take damage for himself, and wanting to have Blood Flame. And these are both fine until you look at heads hit. I don't like that this is heads hit, because if you're looking to lose clashes and gain burn on yourself, then it's like you're not getting SP, and so it makes it really awkward to like try to go for Blood Flame early, because you're not gonna get a lot of conditionals off with his S2. Like there's oftentimes you're not gonna get your reuse because you're simply at not enough SP. So it's like very, very weird. I believe the main way to play this ID is gonna be just spamming counter a lot of the turns and getting dealt a lot of damage, and then you use your S2 on max SP after you stack a lot of your HP loss, because his counter doesn't matter about your current one, right? We've seen current X HP loss, like at X% HP right now, deal 50% damage based on missing HP at the moment. We've seen this with Sinclair, but with Chicken Sinclair, it's cumulative, right? So it doesn't matter how long you have it, and it actually lasts even if you retreat. So very interesting stuff there. Like, we've never seen this line. But I'm pretty sure what you want to do is just use your counter a lot of the time for the first turns, get Blood Flame, and then like build up SP from there after you stacked up your damage on yourself, and then you go for your conditionals here. Only your S2 honestly, and then you go for your S2, because S2 reuse is really good. The thing is, it's just heads hit. You know, like look at this, heads hit, heads hit, heads hit, heads hit. Look at this, heads hit, heads hit. So many heads hit. Like his count relies on heads hit. So I believe this identity is not gonna be a good rupture count identity on your early turns, but he's definitely gonna be really good on mid and late after you stacked up your damage conditionals, and then you're confident enough to go for it. Another way this identity plays into the loss of HP mechanic is this unbreakable coins. This is never going off. Like, I know, unlike Manager Dawn with like her S3, like her unbreakables doesn't matter because she doesn't scale off of it and she's too fragile. This identity actually wants to take damage, but again, it's an S3. Like, are you kidding me? It's an S3 with coin power. It has 4 coins of coin power. I don't think there's a lot of situations you're gonna lose with this unless you're forcing yourself to use it on early turns. And even then, that's like, are you really looking to use your S3 on early turn just to stack up your scaling just a little bit? I really don't think so. So I think this ID's gimmick of HP loss is really awkward, and I don't think it's gonna be coming into play a lot. unless you want to force it through just like using your counter. I think it's just better to like play him normally and then use your head sit conditionals, and you can just use this normally, right? I think his HP loss mechanics doesn't matter at all. Like, yeah, I know you get like there's an additional effect if you have burn. You can blood flame, wrath damage, and flooding damage up, which are very good buffs. I just don't think it's worth it. I think it's just more consistent to just go for the 45 SP. And with 45 SP, you can't really lose clashes unless you force yourself to take really big clashes. And that's just really awkward. Because I'm sure this isn't a tanky IT, it doesn't have any defense level up. Overall, this idea has like very contradicting goals. Like he wants to lose SP, he wants to lose clashes, but he wants to gain SP. But if you lose clashes, you can't gain SP. So very contradictory stuff. Other than that, yeah, pretty normal. Some more additional stuff to close out this identity. The more minor ones. With Honglu inflicts burn. That is game changing, honestly. I can't believe they did this. Here's a line here with. By the way, this is sarcasm. No, this doesn't matter at all. I don't know why the heishou Bolt's contamination sucks for Wei Sang and Sinclair. Oh, oops! I just spoiled you how good his Bolt's contamination effect for later, but this is what we saw from LC Faust. You can't drop below 1 HP due to bird damage. This is never happening. I'm so dead ass with you. This is never happening. Overall, very interesting kit. I'm glad they're making event exchange identities like actually interesting, because Heishou Otis was a very generic, but then this has actual gimmicks to himself that is tied to himself and only himself. But his gimmicks are very gimmicky, right? There's an extent to how gimmicky your gimmick can be before it gets too gimmicky. Well, that's it for Sinclair. Next up we'll have Wei Sang. Wei Sang, before we even get to anything, let's talk about his passives. His passives are Obsidian Stormrider. You gain Linebreaker. What is Linebreaker? Linebreaker gives you shield, similar to Walpurgis Ryoshu. You gain Final Power at max stack, and you gain protection whenever you take damage from a single skill after the skill ends. So similar to LCE Heathcliff and similar to Walpurgis Ryoshu. So pretty cool. But you gain Linebreaker from either being faster from your target on combat start, or you trigger Tremor Burst twice. So if you trigger Tremor Burst once with your skill, and the next time you trigger it again, you do another Tremor Burst, you gain 1 Linebreaker. Right? So it doesn't, you don't have to do it twice in one turn. Or you get it from using Strider Wu being his own unique Strider passive, similar to Strider Haste, Strider Mao, where you get it from your defense, and defense presumably gives you 3 of this. So overall, very cool, very interesting conditionals. We'll see how easy it is to get later. This has shield, gain more defense level, so already we're looking at a very tanky identity, right? We can already assume this is a very tanky identity. We're looking at aggro heal already as well. Haste, aggro, shield, protection, defense level up. All these different keywords, very good for a tank. Haste especially, being able to intercept skills. Overall, we're already looking at a very tanky and very tanky identity that fulfills all the checkmarks for a good tank. Now we're looking at his kit. So his kit, Clash Wind Bind. Already we're looking at a very good status effect because he wants to be faster than the target, and so Bind does that perfectly well, giving you more chance to get Linebreaker. And here we have Haste, even more chance to get Linebreaker. The scales of a Linebreaker, you gain Claim Power if you're faster as well. So this ID really likes to be faster. Like you gain Claim Power here as well. This ID really likes to be faster, and all of his skills do exactly that, giving Bind and Haste. All these different things make him faster than the enemy target, and all these fulfill his own conditionals. Of course, he has his own Rupture Tremor, Coin Power thingy, but it's not... Like, he has his own conditionals, but it's just like an extra thing if you want, right? Next thing I want to talk about is this S3. S3 is your quote-unquote cash-out skill. Well, his Enhance is a cash-out skill, but his S3 also isn't that bad with his with Linebreaker either. This skill gives you more. It gives you Bind, it gives you Tremor Count, Tremor Burst, and it gives you Concussion, and it gives you Strider Wu, and everything else is just classic Final Power. One thing I want to talk about is shield HP on self % more damage. We haven't seen this at all. Scaling off a shield by yourself, pretty cool stuff. I do want to talk about Concussion. Concussion actually was on his S2 as well, but it's also in the S3. So what is Concussion? Concussion basically all it does is multiply the monster stagger threshold raised and rupture damage dealt against this unit by X. So if you're dealing rupture damage with this Titanium, you actually deal even more rupture damage. I'm pretty sure the max, what I expect from this is like per stack is like 5 more rupture damage. Maybe 3, right? But max is like 5. I doubt this ID is gonna do more than 10 rupture damage by himself. But very simple status. But you know, overall pretty nice. You have shield HP on self percent more damage, and we've already seen how easy it is to get line breaker. Like you have Tremor Burst here, you have haste here, you have bind here. All these play into line breaker, and all these play into stacking here. So again, not that bad of an idea to use your S3, especially because it gives you more bind. You can refund it pretty fast, especially because you have Tremor Burst as well, and you have bind, which allows you to be faster, and you get more line breaker. I just repeated the same thing. I'm sorry. You also get unbreakable coins. I'm sure this isn't gonna matter that much because the ID doesn't have missing HP conditionals like Sinclair, so you know it's just an added bonus. With all these linebacker stuff, what are you cashing out for? What are you cashing out for? Well, you're cashing out for his S3 Enhance, which is a 4-coin unbreakable AoE skill, which targets around 3 people, I believe. If I remember correctly, with the trailer, we saw him target 3 people. And 3 people, 4-coin AoE attack weight. What can I say? Pretty good. He applies Command You Can Cry. Command You Can Cry is a status where you give all of your allies Clash Power and Defense level up, and with Command You Can Cry, along with his passive, he actually gains offensive level by himself as well. So bonuses for himself and his allies, very very nice. Other than that, you also have other things such as Concussion. We were talking about it earlier. Concussion, Strider Ooh. You also have even more damage with speed conditionals, and we've already seen how easy it is for him to get speed conditionals off. You also have, like, you have so many haste. You have haste on your Strider, you have haste on your S2, you have bind on your S1, you have bind on your S3. Everything about this unit's kit really supports his playstyle of like being faster than the opponent, and it's very very good. He also inflicts just generic statuses, right? Even more concussion. He actually inflicts concussion against everyone. His S3 Enhance is the only way you get like double concussion. Like here he actually has max stack 2, and all of his other skills don't have that, like because it expires on turn N, right? If I'm okay, I just swapped the wrong slide. It expires on turn N, so his S3 Enhance is like the only way you can get the double concussion. That's very funny. Concussion as a status name is already very very funny. But you actually get Tremor Burst twice. And why this matters, why Tremor Burst matters twice here, is because you refund it, right? Because the way you consume it is on use. And on use, after that you have 0, right? So you have 0, but if you're faster than the enemy, you gain 1 back. You gain half back. And then you actually do Tremor Burst twice. Again, Tremor Burst twice gives you 1 line breaker. So after you be faster, after you're faster than an enemy, and then you use the S3, you gain half, and then you Tremor Burst twice, and you gain 1 more line breaker. So you gain 1.5 line breaker basically. So very cool stuff. Actually, you gain 2. What am I talking about? Why am I talking about half? You gain 2 because yeah, you just have to be faster than them. So you gain 2 line breaker back. So this. What? Why am I here? Okay, experiencing technical difficulties. Why don't I just open a new tab? Okay, I'll find that out. Oh, I pressed new tab. Okay, that's fucking annoying. So, sorry, some technical difficulties. Let me get back to what I was saying. So this ID really likes refunding himself. So we've seen how easy it is to get a line breaker, and he refunds it when you use it for cash out. So this ID gets stronger over time because it gets easier to do his S3 after you use your S3 Enhance once, because you gain 2 permanently after this. And oh, but what if I don't get it that often? The faster than enemy, you're gonna get it often. You have bind here, you have bind here, you have haste here, and you have haste on Strider. You're gonna get this pretty often. Next up, what I want to talk about, like this is very very strong. You're giving your entire team Clash Power up. You are doing a 4-coin AoE skill, and this is refundable. This is very easily refunded, and you can line breaker very very fast. So very cool stuff. You get this back in like 2 turns. Like you get this back in like 3 turns. It's insane. Next one I talk about is his defense. His defense is Strider Ooh generic, but he removes a 1 random removal negative effect applied to self. He has Regret, the Ego, status removal by on himself. I don't need to say how strong that is, right? It's on turn end, but and regret is on use, but it is an ego, right? This is very, very strong, especially for tank identity. That's gonna be getting hit by a lot of skills. And getting hit by a lot of skills, that basically means you're gonna get hit by a lot of statuses, and it's very, very useful. So this automatically makes him one of the best generalist tanks, if not the best generalist tank in the game. Like this is probably better than Priest Trigger. No, actually, Wei Sang, reading from his kit, is the best tank identity introduced in Nimbus by far, and that's not even joking because he has everything you need for a tank. He has aggro. I have to talk about aggro later, but I'll point out where aggro is. But he has aggro. He has bind. He fulfills his own conditionals while also dealing damage by himself. He has a full team-wide buff. He has haste and he has aggro. He has speed manipulation and he has a clashable guard. And he does damage by himself. All of these make for a really good generalist tank. Like, he doesn't even need to be running a rupture team. Like, look here. he fulfills it by himself if you're faster than target. And this is just additional stuff. So it doesn't even matter if you're running in a rupture or tremor team. You're still going to get Quinn power up, and that's still going to be very, very good. So we're already looking at a very, very strong identity with cleanse. Built-in cleanse. You can do this anytime you want. The main drawback about using this, and I'm sure it's intentional, is that it doesn't do anything else. It doesn't help your game plan. It doesn't inflict tremor burst. It doesn't make you faster. It makes you completely stagnant for an entire turn, which is bad, right? And that's the whole cost of removing one negative effect. So if you're like on turn 1, this is very good, right? On turn 1, this is very good. You can try to ooh, but on other turns, you're going to be using this for removing negative effects, but then you're going to be losing your momentum along with that, which I think is a good cost for, with having a very powerful cleanse effect. I think this is a very, very good cost for that. So that's it for his majority of his kit. Let's talk about the more minor ones. Not really minor, but it's decently big. So for Honglu, doesn't really matter. The bullets contamination makes him do tremor burst. Fucking game changing, honestly. Like, these bullets contamination effects are genuinely game changing. I don't know about you, but this is amazing. It's dog shit. We don't have to talk about that anymore. But Sichun Ishmael, if she is actively participating unit in the fight, she gains more poise potency whenever she does rupture or rupture count. So this idea gives her poise potency, and he gives him attack power up to Ishmael. But if she has poise potency, and you all know how powerful she is at getting poise potency, like she gets it very fast. If you don't know her S1, forgive me for these cuts. I'm having like, I'm just forgetting my like shortcuts for some reason. But she gains a lot of poise count very, very fast. She 3 poise, gain a lot of poise here, poise count, poise potency, and then lots of poise potency. And so the point is, like, it's very easy for yourself to get the conditionals of attack power up, and that's very, very good because she was definitely lacking in the clashing department. And whenever you use Obsidian Stormrider's Crimson Decapitator, aka his S3 enhance, she uses Crimson Spring. Crimson Spring, if you don't know, is her S3 that has attack weight. And the thing is with this identity is that he inflicts his own statuses, which is Concussion, right? Concussion and Tremor. Concussion and Tremor are already 2 unique status effects, and that helps her with the thing is that she gains attack weight and she gains more benefits if they have negative effects, and this helps her doing that. One thing I want to mention that's actually very, very cool is the target does not have Death Ride, you inflict Concussion, which is synergetic with Sichun Ishmael, but the reason why he doesn't want to do it if the enemy has Death Ride is because he doesn't like being a heishou. But if you have Sichun Ishmael, and because she doesn't have Death Ride, you actually get Concussion, which benefits her. So that's very, very cool flavor. I really like the flavoring on that. Other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it for Isang. Overall thoughts for both identities. Sinclair is too gimmicky. I think it's just me a generic Rupture identity with good coins, but his whole gimmick is too gimmicky, right? So he's doomed to be generic. Isang is a generalist tank. He's gonna be an amazing generalist tank. I do highly recommend starting him. From the looks of his kit, he's gonna be a very, very strong generalist tank with all of the things that make a good tank: haste, aggro, bind, unique effects, haste, shield, aggro, everything you need for a good tank. cleanse as well, very unique to himself. So I do recommend charging him. He's gonna be a very good generalist tank. Very interesting synergy with Siege and Ishmael. I really do like the flavor of him. And Commandeering Cry is very cool. We don't see this often. The last thing we've seen something like this is Load from Otis with her S3 giving everyone load if you're from W Corp. And yeah, this is very cool. Like Commandeering Kai is a very generalist. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for listening. I'll see you in the next one. Actually, before we say goodbye, support passive. We didn't talk about it earlier. Support passive, you gain defense level up if you're faster on combat start, if you're faster than your previous turn, and if you're actually faster than your previous turn as well, and if you're at low HP, you heal HP. Pretty much it. Pretty interesting if you're running with like heishous. Pretty cool. And for Sinclair, you have if your ally with the fastest speed inflicts burn over ultra potency, you inflict even more. Pretty much it. The funny thing is, I think Isang probably has the best identities in the game by far in terms of generalist usage. I think if you're a new player and you get Ring Isang or Wei Sang right now, you probably have like extremely good start already because he's very generalist coded. So you have the strongest generalist DPS, which is Ring Isang, in my opinion, right? The strongest generalist ID is Ring Isang. You can put me on stake for that. I don't care. I think that's the case, and I believe we have the strongest tank right now, like by far. This is by far the strongest tank we've had. Priest Gregor was our previously strongest tank, along with Yechi Rodion. This is on a completely different level of generalist. This buffs your team. He has everything needed. Priest Gregor and Rodion never had haste. Right? Rodion may have had shield. Priest Gregor may have had aggro. This guy has everything. So yeah, I think he's the best tank in the game by far. On paper, as long as his numbers aren't complete ass, I believe he's gonna be a very strong ID. And I definitely recommend trying him. Alright, that's actually it for the video. Thanks for listening. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye. Just like with every single kit review, I think it's a very good idea to look at the back of the videos and look at what the skills actually do to get some of the details like attack weight and how much people they actually target, and just like visual demonstration to understand them better. So here we go. First is I'm very glad he's like extending Sanchez enemy. Otherwise I would have already like sharded him myself because I like Sinclair. So oh yeah, that was earlier the 2 coins. This is again the 3 coin S2. Here we see him have Death Flame right now. His unique status because you can see it from the burning. Uses it S1. And here we see the S2. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's because he reused one, so different animation with 4 coins. Here we have the S3 with Unfocused Volley, attacking random units. He also has a Death Flame effect right now, so he had Unbreakable on that. Here's him doing his combo with Honglu, and that's it. Giving him burn, by the way. I don't know why they chose burn. Here is Wei Sang. Now I'm kind of sad that we don't really get to see the full mask. Like I was hoping it would cover the entire face because it looks pretty cool. Okay, here's 2 coins. That's 1, 2 coins. That's 2. Because I always like mask characters, but it's fine. They of course need to like see what the ID actually is. That was a guard earlier. Here was a guard. You see him like not attacking after that. That's just his guard then, the one that cleanses. Here's his S3. 1, 2, 3. Dang. Yeah, S2 earlier also inflicted concussion, but we don't really see an effect. I think concussion doesn't have a unique effect. No, I'm pretty sure it does. It's like a... Here's this enhance after you have enough line breakers. Oh, there, right there. You see like those little like stagger orange thingies? This is, this means they're concussion. They're having a concussion right now. This is him, comboing with Sichun Ishmael, triggering her S3 after he uses his own S3. Here's the 5 negative effects, AoE. And here's the combo of Honglu, giving him Tremor Burst. Hell yeah. Alright, that's it for the video. Thanks for watching. Bye.